In a moment that touched hearts everywhere, basketball star Caitlin Clark shared a deeply emotional embrace with a young fan just before the girl's passing.
Just staying calm. It was a huge swing there. I think especially when Kels was able, or Lexi kind of bobbled the pass and got an and one, missed a free throw and we came up with it and then Kels scored. I think that definitely gave us some confidence and allowed us to kind of settle in and finish out the game. But I think just figuring out a way to kind of play with the lead a little bit better. We've kind of struggled with that this year, and I think at times we get a little stagnant and don't play with the same pace that we played with, especially in the first half. Like, we scored 18 and 14 in the second half, and in those two quarters, I thought like it wasn't our best offense. Like, it just felt very kind of But I'm proud of us. Like, I thought our defense was really good. So,
Known for her fierce, competitive spirit on the court, Clark showed a different side of herself in this tender moment. The young girl, a passionate fan battling a terminal illness, had one final wish: to meet her hero. As Clark fulfilled that wish, the love, joy, and connection between them were undeniable. The reason behind this heartfelt meeting will move you to tears, showing the profound impact that small acts of kindness can have on someone's life. In the world of sports, athletes often become more than just players on the court or field. They transform into role models, heroes, and symbols of hope for their fans. For some, the connection to their favorite athletes runs even deeper, providing inspiration in times of hardship and adversity. One such heartwarming and deeply emotional moment took place when Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's basketball, shared a touching embrace with a young fan just before the girl's passing. The story behind this poignant encounter is one that will bring tears to your eyes, showing not only the profound impact of Clark's presence, but also the incredible bond that can be formed through the power of sports and compassion.
just don't get stagnant and find a way to continue to push it and extend the lead out rather than just letting them hang around. Yeah, I saw the replay. I look really soft. It wasn't that bad of a turn, but it hurt. So sometimes you just need a second to give yourself a second. If you ever sprain your ankle, it just kind of stings for a little bit. So I was good. They're like, "You want to go in the back?" I'm like, "No, please, just tape right here. Let's go. We gotta keep going. Get on with the game." But
This story begins with a young girl named Emma, a bright and spirited basketball fan who, like many across the country, was captivated by Caitlin Clark's extraordinary talent on the court. Emma had been battling a rare form of cancer for much of her young life, and despite her illness, her love for basketball remained steadfast. More than just a fan, Emma was an aspiring player herself before her condition worsened, and she drew endless inspiration from watching Clark play. Whether it was Clark's incredible scoring ability, her fearless style of play, or the way she carried herself with confidence and poise, Emma saw in Clark the embodiment of everything she loved about the game. As Emma's health declined, her family made it their mission to grant her one final wish: to meet Caitlin Clark, the player who had become her beacon of hope during the darkest days of her battle.
I've done it a few times, so it is what it is. You're not a real basketball player if you haven't sprained your ankles a bunch. That's when you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it gives us an advantage. I think we're used to it. I mean, I think if anything, it probably gives them a little fire. It's like, this is our home crowd. This is our home stadium. Like, you want to defend your home court. That's how we feel when we're at home in front of, however many, 17,000, whatever it is that we hold in our stadium.
They knew how much Emma adored Clark and believed that meeting her would give Emma a sense of joy and fulfillment during her final days. With the help of friends, family, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, arrangements were made to try and bring Emma's dream to life. Before diving into the emotional meeting between Caitlin Clark and Emma, it's essential to understand just why Clark had such a profound impact on this young girl. Caitlin Clark is widely regarded as one of the most electrifying players in women's basketball. Known for her jaw-dropping three-pointers, incredible court vision, and ability to score from virtually anywhere, she has taken the sport by storm. Clark's success at the University of Iowa turned her into a national sensation, with fans and analysts alike comparing her game to some of the best male and female basketball players in history. Clark's competitive drive,
but I don't think any crowd intimidates us. And honestly, like, you can tell they're just there for good basketball. They're almost cheering for both teams, it feels like. They're all standing up there at the end. So it's like still a very intense basketball environment. But I think, we've gotten experience in those environments, and you can tell, like Christy said, like, we're only getting better and better. It's just continuing to play well for the entire game. I feel like I'm only 22 years old, but I act like I'm 10, so I don't know. I feel like I'm just a kid that plays basketball and has a lot of fun, and for me, like...
And relentless pursuit of excellence made her a favorite among fans, especially young girls who saw in her a trailblazer for women in sports. Off the court, Clark's humility, kindness, and commitment to community service have only further endeared her to her fan base. She frequently participates in charitable events and makes time for her fans, often taking part in meet-and-greet sessions and supporting causes close to her heart. It was this combination of skill, charisma, and generosity that made Clark such an idol to Emma. To Emma, Clark wasn't just a basketball player. She was a role model who gave her hope, even in the face of a terminal illness. As Emma's illness progressed, her family was determined to fulfill her wish of meeting Caitlin Clark. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, an organization dedicated to granting the wishes of children with life-threatening conditions, stepped in to help coordinate the meeting. When Clark learned about Emma's story and her desire to meet her, she immediately agreed. Known for her down-to-earth personality and her love for her fans, Clark was deeply moved by Emma's courage and the impact she had unknowingly made on the young girl's life. A special day was arranged for Emma and her family to meet Caitlin Clark at the University of Iowa's basketball facilities. Although Emma's health had significantly worsened in the weeks leading up to the meeting, she was determined to see her hero in person. Emma's family described her excitement leading up to the event, noting that despite the pain and fatigue she was experiencing, the thought of meeting Clark filled her with renewed energy and joy. The arrival of Caitlin Clark into the Women's National Basketball Association's scene meant the birth of a new basketball queen. It is even said that there is no female basketball player in WNBA history that has gained the attention of the entire sports world like Caitlin has done. Regardless of her achievement, however, she has constantly been targeted as an object of ridicule and bullying. She has been bullied so much that NBA star Steph Curry felt the bullying was getting to a breaking point and needed to be stopped. Who is bullying Caitlin Clark, and why does Curry feel displeased? Join us as we explore how Steph Curry defended Caitlin against media bullies. The resentment towards Caitlin has been naked and ugly, especially from many who see themselves overshadowed by Clark's obvious success. On the pitch, she has been roughed up physically, with veteran players dangerously fouling her. They have always been going out of their way to intimidate her physically, and the league response to all this has been the obvious refusal to stop the veterans. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver even mockingly called the bullying a welcome to the league moment. But it gets even worse. The media also hates Caitlin. She has had to deal with several counts of unprintable things being said about her on the pages of the newspapers and on the screens of televisions. It is said that the most obvious resentment may have even come from fellow women already in the WNBA. It is believed that the intrusion of a white, conservative, straight Catholic woman like Caitlyn in their midst doesn't quite sit well in a league where women of that description have been made to feel unwelcome in many dressing rooms. Many believe that Caitlyn would need a tough hide to survive the resentment of other players who see themselves as the stars and Clark as a product of white privilege. The media was not even shocked when Caitlyn, arguably the women's basketball's young pole star, was left off the US Olympic basketball team for Paris this July. Some people in the media claimed she had no experience and was a rookie, but Clark has played on USA FIBA teams, winning gold in 2017, 2019, and 2021 with MVP honors. She won the Nike Elite National Championship during high school and was named Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year twice. She's got the resume, but still, she was not considered worthy enough. It has also been said that she doesn't tick the right cultural boxes for the WNBA players and their media allies. Some people note that it is regrettable that former President Barack Obama made lots of noise about women athletes getting equal pay as their due, but he's gone mute when black stars acted nasty toward a white athlete, Clark. According to Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, the average WNBA player does not like Caitlyn Clark because she is white, because she is straight, and because now she is rich and getting a lot of attention, and there is a great deal of resentment about that. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark, who is closing in on the NCAA record for the most points by any male or female player, has also drawn comparisons to Steph Curry. Some would say she reminds WNBA fans of memories of Curry's college days with her own electrifying performance. It was even reported that BBC Sports radio host Dan Patrick once called Clark the female Steph Curry after she broke the NCAA women's scoring record. The comparison between the two athletes is why Curry's name keeps coming up when people talk about Caitlyn Clark's exploits. However, Curry finds this disrespectful and believes that this is an effort by the media to downplay Caitlyn's success. He believes calling Caitlyn the female Curry is a plot to not recognize her as a standalone success, who should not need to be the female anybody but herself. Indeed, Curry, the Golden State Warriors guard and future Hall of Famer, has revolutionized basketball with his deep shooting range and rapid-fire release. His game has inspired a generation of long-range shooters, including Clark. She was 13 years old when Curry led the Warriors to the first of 4 NBA titles in 2015 and was named the league's most valuable player. It is said that Curry helped revolutionize basketball with his ability to routinely hit three-pointers from well behind the three-point line, which is 23 feet, 9 inches away from the basket in the NBA. He regularly makes 30-foot shots, and interestingly, Caitlyn also shares the same prowess. Both players have changed the idea of what is a good shot and what is a bad shot. Traditionally, launching one from just over half court would have an exasperated coach ready to bench a player. For Clark and Curry, those shots are perfectly acceptable because they make them at a high rate. Regardless of this, Curry believes Caitlyn is in her own class and should not be compared with anybody. It is often said that what Caitlyn is doing right now is similar to what Michael Jordan did back in the early 90s when he elevated the game itself to a whole new level, while also making the NBA marketable as well. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023, but with Caitlyn Clark's arrival, it grew by 400% viewership. Speaking of ticket sales grew in 2023 by 16% from 2022. Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. Some believe that this is a grand influence of Clark, and that without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where she has gotten them today. Caitlin Clark, the rookie, has taken the league by storm, and far from her impressive stats is her influence on the league itself for the 2024 WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever guard had a record of 2.45 million viewers tuning in to watch her be the first overall pick. To put this into perspective, the 2023 WNBA Finals, the most watched WNBA series in 20 years, only averaged 728,000 viewers on ESPN. The average number of viewers for WNBA countdowns the whole season has increased by 21% since she was drafted. This year's televised WNBA games are averaging 1.32 million viewers, nearly triple last season's average of 462,000. It is even known that CBS Sports reported almost 3 million viewers for the matchup between Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky, making it the most watched WNBA game of any network in 23 years. Compared to last year, attendance in the WNBA is up 156%, and more than half of all WNBA games this year have been sold out. The WNBA's Atlanta Dream typically play in a 3,500-seat arena. However, when they faced Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, moved their game to the nearest NBA arena, and the game was sold out. Almost 18,000 fans were in attendance. That is 5 times the Atlanta team's typical WNBA home arena capacity. Having known the success story, it is important to take a trip down memory lane and appreciate the rocky journey that led to this. Caitlin Elizabeth Clark was born on January 22, 2002 in Des Moines, Iowa, to Brent, a vice president at a product company, and Ann Nizzy Clark. Ann's father was the football coach and a school administrator at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. Caitlin grew up in the city. She began playing basketball at age 5 and competed in boys' recreational leagues because her father could not find a girls' league for her age group. Caitlin Clark also played softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and golf as a child before focusing on basketball. At age 13, she began playing several years ahead of her age group in girls' leagues. In 6th grade, she joined All-Iowa Attack, an amateur athletic union AAU basketball program based in Ames, Iowa, and played for teams in the program until graduating from high school. She was coached by Dixon Jensen with Attack, and her AAU teammates included future Women's National Basketball Association WNBA player Ashley Jones. Clark drew inspiration from Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx, the closest WNBA team to her hometown, and often attended their games with her father. She admired All-Iowa Attack alumnus Harrison Barnes and became a fan of the North Carolina Tar Heels after Barnes joined the program. On April 15, 2024, Clark was selected as the first overall pick of the 2024 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. On April 27th, she signed her rookie-scale contract with the team. Clark played her first regular season game on May 14th, scoring 20 points in a 92-71 loss to the Connecticut Sun. She also committed 10 turnovers, the most in a debut in WNBA history. 10 days later, Clark posted her first double-double with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists to help the Fever claim their first regular season win over the Los Angeles Sparks, 78-73. In a rematch with the Sparks on May 28th, she recorded a career-high 30 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds in an 88-82 loss. During the game, Clark became the fastest WNBA rookie to surpass 100 points and 50 assists. She was named the league's Rookie of the Month in May, averaging 17.6 points, 6.6 assists, and 5.1 rebound per game during that month. On June 7, 2024, Clark matched her career high with 30 points and tied Crystal Robinson's rookie single-game record with 7 three-pointers. She also tallied 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, leading her team to an 85-83 win over the Washington Mystics. On June 23rd, Clark set the Fever single-game record with 13 assists, while adding 17 points and 6 rebounds in an 88-87 loss to the Chicago Sky. On July 2nd, 2024, she was selected to play in the WNBA All-Star Game, receiving the most fan votes of any player in the league, which is 700,735 votes. 4 days later, Clark became the first WNBA rookie and the first Fever player ever to record a triple-double, registering 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in an 83-78 victory over the New York Liberty, who had the best record in the league at that point in the regular season. After registering her 6th turnover during the Fever's July 14, 2024 away win over the Minnesota Lynx, Clark set the WNBA single-season record for turnovers. 3 days later, on July 17th at Dallas, Clark set a new WNBA record and a new career high for most assists in a single game, passing a total 19 dimes to her team. During that same game, she also broke the WNBA record for most points created, scoring or assisting on 66 of the Fever's 93 points in their 93-101 loss to Dallas. Clark was once again named the league's Rookie of the Month in July after averaging 20.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 12.3 assists, 5 assists per game. Clark was also named the starting point guard for Team WNBA in the 2024 All-Star Game, the 7th rookie in WNBA history to be named to the starting lineup, and the 3rd Fever rookie after Tamika Catchings and Aaliyah Boston. Less than a year at the forefront of the mainstream basketball scene, Caitlin has shown that she is a force to reckon with. But unfortunately, she still has a long race to run, a race full of bullies and rocky mountains. What are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark and her success? Do you think she is a product of white privilege? Share your opinions in the comments section. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it. Caitlin Clark's confrontation with racism and disrespect has been a pivotal moment in her career, highlighting her resilience and advocacy for social justice.
Thanks, Mom. I think just the biggest thing is, it's really, really special, and I don't think it's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids and the people in the state of Iowa. And I hope I brought them a lot of joy this season. I hope this team brought them a lot of joy. I understand we came up 1 win short, but I think we have a lot to be proud of and a lot to celebrate. And I was just that young girl, so all you have to do is dream, and you can be in moments like this.
The controversy erupted following a high-profile game where Clark, a standout basketball player, became the target of derogatory remarks and racist attacks. The situation unfolded after a particularly notable performance by Clark, during which she faced an outpouring of negative attention. The comments directed at her were not only personal attacks, but also laced with racial undertones, reflecting broader issues of racism and bias in sports. These remarks sought to undermine Clark's accomplishments and tarnish her public image, which was deeply disheartening given her significant contributions to the sport.
Yeah, it's certainly been a special year, and to be honest, like after last year, I was kind of like, well, how do we top doing what we did last year? And somehow, some way, every single person in our locker room believed, and to be honest, this year was probably more special than last year. The teams we had to go through to get to this point, we won the Big Ten tournament. We lost 2 players that were 3-year starters for our program, and to be back in this position and come out here and battle, I mean, South Carolina is just so good. Like, there's only so much you can do. I mean, Cardoso has 17 rebounds. They have 51 as a team. We have 29. Like, hard to win a basketball game like that. You basically got to shoot perfect at that point. And, I'm just proud of our group. We never backed down, and, we gave it everything we got. I think for me is just the emotions will probably hit me over the next couple days, and I don't have much time to, sit around and sulk and be upset, and I don't think that's what I'm about either, I'm sad we lost this game, but I'm also so proud of myself. I'm so proud of my teammates. I'm so proud of this program. There's a lot to be proud of, but, there's going to be tears. It is sad that this is all over, and this is the last time I'm going to put on an Iowa jersey, so I think just reflecting back and, soaking in everything that I was able to do, because basically anybody other than me and Coach Bluter never thought this was possible.
In response to the racist attacks, Caitlin Clark demonstrated both courage and clarity. Rather than allowing the negativity to define her, she took a proactive approach to address the situation. Clark utilized her social media platforms and participated in interviews to confront the derogatory comments directly. Her response was marked by a strong sense of dignity and a refusal to be silenced or diminished by the prejudice she faced. Clark's statements were both articulate and powerful.
AB would say the same thing, like, nobody enjoys losing. Like, it's not fun to lose and have lost 12 games, and we're not even at the halfway point of our season yet. Like, we're trying to give it our all and be able to win every single night, and, we expect to win, so, like, we're not going to be walking around the court, like, smiling when you're down 15 points. So I think just, being able to find that competitive edge at the same time as staying positive is a hard thing at times, but I think we can definitely do a little bit better and continue to just motivate one another, because sometimes you're going to have good games, you're going to have bad games, but it's a team sport. You got to find a way to lean on your teammates and stay connected, and I think we can do a little bit better job of that too.
Sports organizations, media outlets, and fans have been prompted to reconsider their approaches to race and respect, leading to increased discussions about how to create more inclusive and equitable spaces for all athletes.
I think I only took a couple shots, so I think I could have probably tried to set some more screens and use some more screens, but we turned the ball over a lot. I don't know, when you're playing out of a ball screen a lot and you get blitzed, you're just going to have to give the ball up. That's just kind of how it rolls, and I don't know. I think I could find ways to get the ball back a little bit, but at the same time, we were still doing some really good things out of the ball screen there, and especially when we cut it to 9 points to start the fourth quarter. But I think we have to find a way to continue to be more consistent and set and use screens and continue to flow a little bit better on offense. And we had been doing a better job of that, but I didn't feel like tonight was our best.
She condemned the racist remarks and emphasized that such behavior was not just a reflection of individual biases, but indicative of a systemic problem that extends beyond sports. Her response underscored the importance of focusing on her skills and achievements, rather than allowing personal and racial attacks to overshadow her accomplishments. One of the critical aspects of Clark's response was her ability to frame the issue within a broader societal context. She highlighted how the racism she encountered was part of a larger pattern of discrimination faced by many athletes, particularly women of color. By speaking out, Clark brought attention to the need for systemic change in sports and society, advocating for a more inclusive and respectful environment.
I don't know, when you're playing out of a ball screen a lot and you get blitzed, you're just going to have to give the ball up. That's just kind of how it rolls. And I don't know. I think I could find ways to get the ball back a little bit, but like at the same time, like we were still doing some really good things out of the ball screen there, and especially when we cut it to 9 points to start the fourth quarter. But I think we have to find a way to continue to be more consistent and, set and use screens and continue to flow a little bit better in offense. And we had been doing a better job of that, but I didn't feel like tonight was like our best. Always going to give it up because that should create an advantage for us 4-on-3, attacking the basket. But I don't know. I didn't think we played like too well out of our ball screens tonight, but I don't know. I mean, I could definitely be a little bit more aggressive to the basket, but I think I'm just going to try to take what the defense gives me and try to set my teammates up for success too. Playing this game, and obviously we're a really young group, so continue to build day to day. The Storm is like the type of team that the level that we want to be at. So like we go up against these teams, and we put together a good quarter there, and I felt like in the third we beat them 22-17, but we need to have 4 of those quarters. So I think take it game by game, and to help this organization get back to the playoffs is our main goal this year. It didn't really ever feel great out there tonight, even when we cut it to 9. Like it just didn't feel like it was flowing too well, and but like we want to win more than anybody. Like this is our job. Like our job is to compete every single day.
Her response has had a lasting impact on the conversation about race in sports, demonstrating the power of individual voices in driving meaningful change and fostering a more inclusive and respectful environment for all athletes. Stephen A. Smith unleashed a scathing and brutal critique of Team USA and Cheryl Reeve, mercilessly mocking them in the wake of their dismal performance at the Olympics, where they faced the disgrace of drawing the worst crowd attendance in the event's history.
This had some observers wondering if the presence of Caitlin Clark and Asia Reese would have the stands packed for Team USA. Team USA, led by Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart, got off to a dominant start in the 2024 Olympics by beating Japan 102-76. But according to the Olympics official website, Team USA's win over Japan only drew 13,040 fans, which was the lowest attended game among the opening 6 matchups in group play. The Serbia versus Puerto Rico game was the second worst attended game, with 15,324 fans in attendance, while Spain and China had the largest crowd with 27,021 fans in the building. 4 of the 6 opening games drew over 20,000 fans. This had some observers wondering if the presence of Caitlin Clark and Asia Reese would have the stands packed for Team USA. Olympic competition is Olympic competition. Nevertheless, for Team USA's game, rife with stars, expected to blow out their competition, they drew the worst
run off a pick and roll from the logo. Caitlin Clark is more dangerous there. Well, she struggled, and they started out 0-5, and then all of a sudden she was overrated.
Once dismissed as one-dimensional, Caitlin Clark now captivates with her multifaceted skills.
Yeah, they beat Minnesota in Minnesota. That's a big deal. And Caitlin Clark, see, that's the thing. There was a player earlier this year that said, she's kind of one-dimensional. All she does is shoot. And I said, well, that player is ill-informed.
Her extraordinary passing ability, refined through her soccer background, is a rare talent. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston have been making waves in the WNBA, and their latest showdown against Cameron Brink left fans and analysts alike stunned.
Second half of the season from the Indiana Fever. First on Friday, they beat the Phoenix Mercury. Then Sunday, a big win against Seattle. What's important, both of those teams are in the top half of the standings. This is an Indiana team that's really learned how to click on the offensive end of the floor. 3 players scoring at least 20 points against Seattle. 4 players in double figures in their win over Phoenix on Friday. Caitlin Clark continues to distribute the basketball. Her teammates have learned how to finish when she does.
Both players, known for their competitive edge and dynamic playing styles, showcased their immense talent in a way that defied expectations. From Clark's deep-range shooting to Boston's dominance in the paint, they put on a clinic that not only solidified their places as future stars, but also sent a clear message to the league. Their rivalry with Brink, one of the league's most formidable defenders, only intensified the spectacle, making this a game to remember. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston took drastically different paths to reach the WNBA, but both have become synonymous with success at the collegiate level.
I saw where you said the WNBA, they're targeting Caitlin Clark. What do you mean by how she's being guarded or, enforced?
I think you and I both know the landscape that we live in today, both sports-wise and non-sports-wise, right? We are in a red-blue. And if you're red, you can't agree with blue. And if you're blue, you can't agree with red. Whereas most things are in the middle. If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was.
Clark, who made headlines for her electric play at the University of Iowa, was known for her unlimited shooting range and ability to control a game with her court vision and high basketball IQ. Her college career was filled with jaw-dropping moments, from hitting game winners from well beyond the arc to setting records for points and assists in the same game. Her aggressive playing style, combined with her confidence and swagger on the court.
I think we're just trying to score at that point. Probably could have worked for maybe for a better one, but you're down, so you want to give yourself a chance to get an offensive rebound of some sort, and just didn't execute down the stretch, and that stinks. And Nebraska's a really good team, and changed up their defense on us, and we weren't really prepared for it and didn't respond well in all areas. So good learning opportunity for us. I think, like we said in the locker room, like our goals are still intact. You just come in and get better every single day. You win every single day.
Quickly earned her a reputation as one of the most exciting prospects to enter the WNBA in recent years. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston dominated in her collegiate years at the University of South Carolina. A powerhouse in the paint, Boston's ability to dominate both ends of the floor, from scoring in the low post to being an elite rim protector, made her one of the most coveted players in the draft. Known for her composure, strength, and leadership, Boston anchored her team to multiple deep runs in the NCAA tournament. Her calm demeanor, combined with her physicality, has been a driving force in her early success in the WNBA. The recent matchup between Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Cameron Brink was highly anticipated, with fans eager to see how these young stars would fare against one another in a high-stakes environment.
Absolutely. I think going to the box and one, something we prepared for all throughout the season, hadn't necessarily prepped for it the last couple of practices, but should have been ready for it, should have executed our offense better. And that doesn't mean that I need to get open looks by any means. We have plenty of capable scorers on our team that can get open looks, but that's what a box and one is. They're going to take me away. They're going to make me take hard shots. It's just finding ways for other people to get open. And, we have plays, we have offenses that we should have been running.
The stage was set for a game that would highlight the clash between Brink's defensive prowess and the offensive brilliance of Clark and Boston. The game started with intensity right from the opening tip. Caitlin Clark wasted no time, immediately asserting her presence with a couple of deep three-pointers that sent a message to Brink and her teammates. She was not going to back down.
Yeah, it's not really on the front of my mind right now. I think just, getting better and getting back home and playing in front of our fans and executing the way we know we can execute, I think is very important for this team. And we'll have 2 practices to get ready for that. And, obviously it'll be special, but I think the biggest focus right now is just finding ways to grow, finding ways to get better because, another case of us blowing another lead and, that's something that has to stop. And, I think just...
Clark's ability to create space off the dribble and launch long-range shots, often from well beyond the three-point line, kept Brink and the defense on their heels. Brink, known for her shot blocking, was forced to step out of the paint and contest shots much further from the basket than she was used to. Despite her strong defense, Brink struggled to contain Clark's range. At one point in the game, Clark pulled up from nearly half court and drained a three, causing the crowd to erupt. Brink's frustration was evident, but she remained disciplined, determined to keep Clark in check. On the other end of the floor, Aaliyah Boston was quietly making her presence felt in the paint. Boston's matchup with Brink was equally compelling. Brink, one of the few players with the length to challenge Boston in the post, did her best to contest shots and disrupt Boston's rhythm. However, Boston's footwork and strength allowed her to carve out space in the paint, scoring efficiently with a combination of post moves and putbacks. As the game wore on, it became clear that this battle was more than just a one-on-one matchup between stars. It was a clash of styles and philosophies. Clark, with her fearless, high-octane offense, was constantly pushing the pace, looking to score in transition or create opportunities for her teammates. Boston, on the other hand, controlled the game with her poise and fundamentals, methodically working the ball inside and anchoring the defense on the other end. Midway through the third quarter, the game reached a pivotal moment. With the score tight, Clark and Boston teamed up for a sequence that would change the course of the game. After a missed shot by Brink, Boston grabbed the rebound and quickly found Clark streaking up the court. Without hesitation, Clark launched a three from well beyond the arc, sinking it and giving her team the lead. The momentum shift was palpable, and Brink, who had played valiantly up to that point, found herself on the back foot. Caitlin Clark continued her record-breaking performances as she set another milestone, despite the Indiana Fever defeating the Los Angeles Sparks in a tightly contested matchup.
Player of the month, and it got better from there. The Fever hosting the Sparks before the Olympic break, July 17th. Caitlin Clark averaging 17 points per game. They were 11 and 15. Since then, 24 points per game, and the Fever are 6-1 and a playoff-bound team. Tyrese Halliburton on hand to see triples just raining down from Clark. Her 103-pointer over the season.
Clark's stellar play and individual achievements shone throughout the game, but the Fever's balanced team effort ultimately secured the win. Caitlin Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to make 100 three-pointers in a season and finished with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for her second career triple-double as the playoff-bound Indiana Fever beat the Sparks 93-86 on Wednesday night. Clark connected on her second three of the game and 100th of the season midway through the third quarter, and added two more to reach 102 and finish 4 of 10 from long range.
34 games, passing Ryan Howard for the fewest career games to reach the 103-point plateau. The steal, she got some D as well, and then the putback for the 2 points. And then she steps back. She can do this all day long.
The number 1 overall draft pick is the first rookie with 100 threes. She also became the first rookie and 5th WNBA player with multiple triple-doubles in a season, joining Alyssa Thomas, Courtney Williams, Sabrina Ionescu, and Candace Parker. Aaliyah Boston had 24 points and 14 rebounds for the Fever, 18-16, who secured a playoff spot Monday night when Atlanta and Chicago lost. Indiana has won 5 straight for the first time since 2015 and is 10-1 at home since June 1st. Clark also made a key defensive play when she poked a pass away in the paint and found Boston for a layup and a 91-84 lead with 25.2 seconds left. Kelsey Mitchell added 18 points for Indiana, coming 2 points shy of her 8th straight 20-point game. Nalissa Smith scored 13 points.
Man, they're playing extremely well. That backcourt, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, they're doing an unbelievable job. Kelsey Mitchell had 36 yesterday, as you mentioned, Molly. Caitlin Clark had 28 and 12, and she's been playing outstanding basketball. Man, that's a tall task. Even just making the playoffs is a feat in and of itself, considering they hadn't been above 500 or above in 4 years. But when you look at the Liberty, they're in the first spot. The Connecticut Suns in the second spot. The Minnesota Lynx in the third spot.
Odyssey Sims led the Sparks, 726, with 20 points. Derica Hamby and Ray Burrell each scored 16, and Azura Stevens had 13 points and 11 rebounds. While Clark's performance was the headline, the Indiana Fever's team effort was equally noteworthy. The Fever, a team looking to establish themselves as a force in the league, played with determination and resilience throughout the game. Their ability to stay composed under pressure and execute when it mattered most ultimately led them to victory.
I don't believe they can knock off one of the top 3 teams. I honestly don't. I think they can take a game. I think they can take maybe a game or two off one of them. Liberty, if they move up to, obviously they keep moving up. But if they keep playing the way they're playing, I just love the backcourt with Mitchell and Clark because they can light you up. They can go get 60 between the two of them. But that's a tall task to beat one of those formidable top 4 seeds.
Led by their veteran core and bolstered by young talent, the Fever showcased a well-rounded offensive and defensive performance. They did a good job of containing Clark when it counted, particularly in the closing minutes of the game, where they were able to limit her touches and force the Sparks into tough shots. Offensively, the Fever relied on a balanced attack, with several players contributing in key moments.
Major props to Mitchell. That girl can play. She's something special. Okay, give her some love. She deserves it. No question about it. But she can ball. Make no mistake about it. You understand? She's doing some things. She's doing her thing. Major props. But I must say, Shay, I'm disappointed in you. And Molly, I'm disappointed in you. I'm just because we've been this first.
What happened?
We the kind of heat that me and Shannon have had to take. Molly, what's up? You understand? Because here's where I'm at, Molly. Where are all the ladies at?
Their ball movement and ability to get into the paint helped them maintain their lead, while timely three-point shooting stretched the defense. In addition, their rebounding prowess on both ends of the court allowed them to control the tempo of the game and limit the Sparks' second-chance opportunities. The Fever's defense also played a crucial role in their victory. While they struggled to contain Clark for much of the game.
What did I say? I mean, who's the bad guy, Shay? It me. We were the bad guys, Shay. Me and you. We were talking about this girl, Caitlin Clark. Oh, let me throw this out. By the way,
it wasn't that anybody didn't think she was going to be successful or not play. It was just that we felt the other players in the W deserve shine as well.
Molly, I said.
Really, Molly? Wow.
They were able to clamp down on the Sparks' supporting cast, preventing other players from stepping up. Their defensive rotations were sharp, and they communicated well, making it difficult for the Sparks to find easy scoring opportunities. This game was not just about individual records and milestones. It was a battle between two teams looking to make their mark in the WNBA. The Indiana Fever, after years of rebuilding, are beginning to show signs of becoming a contender. Their young core, combined with experienced veterans, has given them a balanced roster that can compete with the best teams in the league. On the other hand, the Los Angeles Sparks, despite the loss, remain a dangerous team with plenty of firepower. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the Sparks have one of the most dynamic players in the game, capable of taking over any contest. However, the team will need to continue developing their chemistry and find ways to support Clark better if they want to turn these close games into wins. This game also highlighted the growing parity in the WNBA, with more teams capable of competing at a high level. the Fever and Sparks both showed that they have the potential to be playoff contenders, and games like this will serve as valuable learning experiences for both squads as they continue to evolve.
For WNBA rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, she broke the league's record with 19 assists. Again, that is not a rookie record. 19 assists, the most in a WNBA game ever. This coming in an 8-point loss by the Fever to the Wings last night.
Caitlin Clark set a franchise rookie record for assists in a single